Hello, and welcome to SCAN's Community Connection. I'm your host, Tom Hayes. I'm Director of Customer and Community Relations at New Jersey Natural Gas in my day job, and happy to be your host for this Community Connections at SCAN, which is, as you know, a wonderful organization. And today we have a fantastic guest who's really going to tell us a lot about a wonderful and awesome organization, and that's Dennis LoGiudice. Is that right? LoGiudice?
That is correct.
Dennis LoGiudice. Okay, and Dennis is the co-director and community partner at Ocean's Family Success Center. So welcome, Dennis. We're pleased to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Absolutely. So I know your organization does great work. So, maybe you can tell our viewers, our wonderful viewers out there, what is a Family Success Center and how do they help the community?
Well, there are 58 family success centers around the state of New Jersey, and they're located in all 21 counties within the state. We work in Asbury Park. Our office is on Springwood and Atkins, and our organization services 7 specific townships, but we also kind of broaden outside of that. Each family success center, the mission is to strengthen and empower families and to work through outreach and advocacy through collaborative programs. So we try to gear our programs that we offer for the community towards what their needs are. Each family success center does something a little bit different in terms of what their needs are for their communities, and our communities are looking more towards financial literacy, computer literacy, as a pediatrician. There are other organizations that work with like, for instance, the one that's in Leonardo, they work with the YMCA, so they have a lot of collaboration with them. Our Family Success Center works with Hunterdon Prevention Services, which is our parent organization. And we also have a sister Family Success Center, which is located in Flemington. So that's pretty much how it works in the structure of the Family Success Centers. They all work kind of to make it easier for families and parents, and to create a strong and strengthening bond with each of them. So,
gotcha. And your location is in Asbury Park? Is that
correct? Yes.
Offices? Are you in the building on Springwood Avenue with like Interfaith Neighbors building with?
Yes, we're right by the Kula Cafe and right by parking enforcement with the City of Asbury Park's parking enforcement office.
Yes, that's great. Do you, just out of curiosity, do you partner with Interfaith Neighbors on anything?
We do partner with them in terms of finding, for instance, for folks that are looking for rental assistance, or they're in like utility arrears, we partner with them to try to get them the assistance that they need.
Excellent. That's great. Wonderful. We work with them a lot.
They're amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So what areas does your organization serve?
So we do Asbury Park. We have Ocean Township, Ocean Grove, Neptune Township, Neptune City, Bradley Beach. Those are our core areas that we serve, but there are so many other townships and locations and municipalities that are not being served. So even though we do have that specific area, we are willing to assist outside of that. Like, for instance, Wall or Freehold, they don't have a family success center. So we'll always go outside the boundaries sort of to help families that really need some help, or really anybody who needs the assistance. We'll try to get them the assistance that they need, whether it's it could be anything. Even if we can't help them with what our core mission is, we can help find them some of the services that they might need, whether it's social services or even a senior center. It just depends. We'll help out.
Right. That's great. It's wonderful to have folks like you and organizations like you that are out there really helping families, because we know it's always difficult. But boy, since COVID hit and all that, which we'll talk about, I know, in a minute, but it's just really been crazy. And so many more folks are just one day you're going to work, the next day you don't have a job because places had to shut down immediately and all that. It's nutty. And
people are suffering and struggling so much. So yeah, it is very important to have these sorts of community organizations for.
Yeah. So knowing that so much has happened and, COVID has brought on such, devastation to many businesses, restaurants, and what have you. What has like COVID done to like make you change your operations? What have you changed that you found that you'd had to change?
So our last day in the office was March 13th. We've been outside of the office since March 16th. That was our last day that was in the office. We've been working from home remotely. If we have been coming into the office, it's only been one at a time, and it's been pretty sparingly. So, but we thankfully got all the technology to be able to do everything remotely. We were able to, text our family members and still call them from our computers and emails. And so we've been able to do outreach with that. We went to our previous lists of family members from 2018, 2019. We got in touch with them by cold calling or emailing them, texting them just to see how they were doing. And we found a lot of folks that didn't have any food.
Wow.
Or that were so late on their rent or their utilities, or they were trying to move into another location, security deposit. We, as of now, have given out 1,000 crisis boxes for our communities. We've delivered them to their doors and just left them for them. We get the crisis boxes specifically from Fulfill, which is the food bank for Ocean and Monmouth County. And they are an amazing organization, and they have actually saved us by providing us with the needed essentials for the community. A lot of folks have been, are lonely. They don't have anybody to talk to. They're just by themselves. And we've had a lot of Zoom time teaching people how to use technology. They might not have had the ability to do that, but they have cell phones, they have a smartphone. Mm-hmm. And they've been able to talk to us about sort of what they've been going through. And we've been trying to help them find the services that they need, whether it's mental health, whether it's rental or utility arrears. We can fill out a CAP application for them through the Affordable Housing Alliance. Mm-hmm. We do everything that we can to try to engage the community, and COVID sort of made that our forefront. With that, we've been having lots and lots of programs. We actually doubled our programs over COVID. So we've been with a lot of turnout. It's been kind of amazing. So it's been a very strange time, but we've actually somehow gotten through it with reasonably good numbers and with a good support that we've had for the community.
That's great. And I'm glad to hear you're working with Fulfill. Again, my day job is working with New Jersey Natural Gas, and I manage our charity and some other things. And the one thing I love seeing is organizations using other people's resources. Like, instead of you trying to put these boxes together, Fulfill, which, as you said, is an amazing organization.
Amazing.
Tremendous work. They always have. And with Kim Guadagno there now, it's even, through the roof. But they provide, that's what they do. So I like hearing when the other organizations are using other organizations for what they do. Like, why recreate the wheel? And that's, this collaboration is so important. And I see that more and more during this whole COVID thing, which is great. A sad reason for it to all happen, but it has forced a lot of us to do a lot of things. And one of the other things is just using this technology. I'm working from home since March also. We're not going to go back to probably January, maybe into the spring.
Right.
And I never really worked from home, like with Zooms and all those sorts of things before. I just didn't. And now we're all doing it. And it's amazing how you went from one day in the office to the next day actually functioning. Like I give a lot of credit to IT people and all the people that put all this stuff together, because man, it's really worked out well.
It's a crazy transition. I mean, I didn't expect it to, it took a while to get used to. I mean, with people walking past you and dogs and children and stuff in the background, you're just like, okay.
Yeah. And now, like I was saying, as we were getting set up for this, I was saying, like, you said, oh, geez, I hope my phone doesn't ring or whatever. We're so used to those things. And people that do have kids in the background, it's like, it's no big deal. It's just like, oh, I like your kid, like, oh, I like.
It becomes so forgiving to the distractions. Yeah. It's definitely,
it's actually almost, it's almost welcome sometimes, right?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you need
but it is great. I mean, as bad as COVID is, it really has done some positive things, if I may say that. We know it's all negative in terms of COVID. We wouldn't have wanted this to happen, but since it happened, I'm just amazed at the human spirit, how we've just turned on a dime and just changed our whole lives and our whole work patterns and have made this thing work. So, so that's, and it's great to know that you guys have done that as well. So what sort of programs are you able to provide to the community?
So I think I mentioned it a little bit before, but we have a financial literacy class. It's called Finance 101. That's pretty popular with our community. The most popular thing that we have right now is Ask the Pediatrician. We just had it yesterday and we had almost 60 attendees, and they have an hour and a half basically to have a free for all and ask the pediatrician whatever questions, burning questions they have on their mind about their children, about how they're, and a lot of COVID questions, of course, especially with the fact that we're going into this, I don't know if it's second or third wave or even the first. I'm not really quite sure where we are with that, but you know, people are really concerned about their schools closing and being able to take care of it, and you know, the vaccines. I mean, folks are really, really concerned about, you know, how we're supposed to proceed in the middle of this wintertime pandemic, you know. So those are two of the main ones that we have. We also have a program called Family Connections that we partner with Wellspring Prevention. They, her name is Sharonda Amon. She's amazing. And it's sort of like a parenting toolbox. It's a dual program where parents are in one Zoom call and kids are in another. Kids are being engaged to do activities while parents are sort of getting a support program, sort of like talking about how they're handling with the stress of life and during the holidays, and you know, how are you doing, and really working through it. It's sort of like a good therapy session for parents. It's really great, and it just started actually this week. It's a 5-week program, so we're really happy that we've engaged 12, 13 families that are involved. We also have our family advisory board, which helps steer us towards what sorts of programs we should offer for the community. Like, they helped us with the Just Say Yes to Fruits and Veggies program that's offered through SNAP-Ed. That's also a program that we offer here. We have Rainbow Talk for the LGBTQ support program. That's really helpful for some folks. We have Ladies Lounge, which is for, it's sort of like a Family Connections program, but it's for moms specifically, and it's just another support program for them to be able to talk about some of the things that they might be going through, and also to share resources. I mean, some people just need to get formula, you know, and they don't know where to go. So if they're able to come into the meeting and just say, like, I'm not really sure where to get this, then it kind of can branch out into other things like, well, how do I get food? How do I get any of these other services? How do I get SNAP? How do I get food stamps? How do I get WIC? How do I get, I mean,
yes, right.
Honestly, all these questions get asked in these meetings, and it sort of like helps you get through. It's a way to navigate through the system. So the programs that we offer really, you know, honestly, it's sort of like just a session at first, but it ends up becoming something even more, micro to macro. It's really helpful.
That's great. You know, it's funny because, you know, just as you mentioned, you know, somebody asks a question in a session like that with the pediatrician, and a lot of people might not have thought of that question. So that really is a great resource. All that is amazing. So, you know, I know you also assist seniors, which, you know, SCAN is about seniors. We only have a few of like 30 seconds left. So can you tell me quickly about SCAN seniors, your senior programs?
Well, we work with SCAN to try to get them, if they need any of the utility assistance or rental assistance, we help them with that. We also help them we have a program specifically that's it was to, you know, kind of vent about, it was more of a session of how to, you know, learn how to work the computers, computer literacy. So we're working on that, and we're starting to build it up. It's a slow process, but it's something that we're trying to do. Yeah.
All right. Now, if somebody wants to reach you, they can go, what's your website for folks if they want to reach out to you?
If they could go to facebook.com/Oceans, FSC, OCEAN, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, C as in Cat. And you can see all our programs, and you can always call us at 732-455-5272.
Great. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate your time. It's amazing how fast this goes, but it's really good information. I know our viewers will love hearing that. And again, we appreciate it very much, and good luck to you in the future. And to our viewers, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back right after this commercial.
At the Save Green Project from New Jersey Natural Gas, we're bringing you rebates and incentives, including 0% APR financing, right on your natural gas bill to help make energy efficiency affordable. And with the possibility of no upfront costs and special incentives for moderate income customers, investing in equipment upgrades doesn't have to be out of reach. Go to SaveGreenProject.com for details on available rebates and incentives to help you upgrade to energy-efficient HVAC and water heating equipment. You could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in incentives for seal-up and insulation fixes. In the long run, you could be saving money on your energy bills, too. Visit us at SaveGreenProject.com. That's SaveGreenProject.com.
Hello and welcome back to SCAN's Community Connection. We have another wonderful guest for you today, and this wonderful person, it goes by the name of Danielle Gletow, and she is the founder and executive director of One Simple Wish. And Danielle, it's great to have you with us here at SCAN and our Community Connections, and I'm sure our audience is going to be really interested in hearing all the wonderful things you have to tell us about this wonderful organization that you helped you really created it, right?
Yes, I am the founder.
That's amazing. So can you tell us all what One Simple Wish is all about?
Yes, so One Simple Wish is an online platform that is dedicated to brightening the lives of children that are impacted by the foster care system. And the way that we do this is that we invite people to come to our site, onesimplewish.org, and browse through the wishes of thousands of children all over the country who have experienced foster care at some point in their lives. And the wishes range from $10 to $500 and are pretty much as unique as the kids who make them. They can be for anything from shoes to art lessons to laptops, anything that you may have wanted or experienced as a child. That brought you some joy. Those are exactly what the wishes are on our site. And we currently support 1,600 social service agencies in 47 states.
Wow. And just so we have a little idea, foster care in general, the purpose of that is to get a child into a secure, structured home. Is it typically meant to be temporary, or it can be many things?
So most of the time, foster care is intended to be a temporary situation while the state agencies work with a family to ensure that the home is safe and that the child can be returned. And the vast majority of removal cases are due to neglect, not necessarily abuse. And so, many children do in fact return home and go on to spend, the rest of their lives with their families. So reunification is almost always the primary goal of foster care, though there are times when termination of parental rights does occur and the children become available for adoption.
Okay. So tell us, why did you actually start this organization?
So I started One Simple Wish in 2008 after a couple of years of being a foster parent myself. My husband and I chose to become foster parents. We had a goal of adoption. There was a program in New Jersey at the time called Foster Adopt, which meant that we became foster parents with a hope of adopting a child that was placed in our home as a foster case. When we learned just how many children were moving through the system, there's over 500,000 a year at any given time that are in foster care, and just how many of them were missing out on normal childhood experiences because of all the moves, the changes in schools, the lack of resources that were available. We decided that after we had our daughters, and one was adopted, one biological, that we were going to close our home to placing any new children in the home, but that we wanted to do something that would continue to educate the public about foster care and about the needs of the children who experience care, whether they're currently in it or they had already aged out. So we put our heads together, invested some money, and built the One Simple Wish platform in the summer, late summer of 2008, and it launched in December of 2008. So we're just coming up on our 12-year anniversary, December 19th, which is crazy to imagine, but really, really exciting.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing. What a great concept. And I give you kudos to you and your husband for being a foster parent to begin with, and then, and then taking that on even further, because it's great you've experienced it and you understand it. So to create an organization like One Simple Wish, you kind of know the background and the intricacies of foster care to a degree where you could then help all these other children around the country, which is amazing, really, really amazing, really sweet, really sweet. And like, what makes One Simple Wish unique? Like, are there other organizations that do something similar, or you're just the only one in that game?
No, there's certainly organizations that have similar programs. Ours is really unique in that no one ever ages out of our program. So while in the foster care system around the country, you can turn 18 or 21 and no longer have access to services through the Department of Children and Families. With One Simple Wish, that isn't true. We allow anyone at any age to come to us and make a wish. And it doesn't matter if they have already aged out, if they're older than 18 or 21. And we do, in fact, have people who come to us in their 20s and 30s and sometimes 40s with, one simple wish. And we always post those wishes. And 99.9% of every wish we've ever gotten has been granted. So, we encourage, what we really try to do is to encourage people to look at us like an extension of family, and we are forever and we aren't going anywhere. And even if we can't always post a wish or grant a wish, we are really connected to our community and ensuring that we get them resources that they need so that they can be as happy and productive and successful and comfortable as they possibly can in life. So sort of like a virtual family.
Wow, that's really beautiful. What do people want, like, or what would you want people to know about the whole foster care process and program?
I think that it is, my biggest hope is that people will see that these children did not ask to be in the situation that they are in. So, sadly, there's still some kind of stigma out there about what it means to be a foster child or to have been in foster care. And I think that is really unfortunate that we still haven't gotten past that. And I would encourage people to, talk about foster care, talk about adoption, read articles that, pertain to foster care and adoption, because it really is, in my opinion, the responsibility of our entire nation to embrace these children and these families and to try to give them as close to a normal set of, stability and comfort and resources as we possibly can. And, I think that sometimes we are afraid of something because we don't understand it.
Right.
And I wish more people would, just take it a couple of steps further and try to understand they are simply children who sadly, were in an environment that was not the safest or best environment for them. They didn't do anything to cause, the change in their environment. And, they need what all kids need is, they need love, they need attention, they need an education. And, whenever I hear people talking about, kids in foster care, especially teens and older kids being difficult, I have a 12 and a half and 13-year-old, and I was a child. Kids are just difficult, period. So, I wish that people would understand that, adolescence is challenging, your teenage years are challenging. And yes, I'm not trying to minimize mental health issues or the impact that trauma has on anybody's life, but I certainly think that we all could give a little bit more grace to those that, are just going through what a lot of us went through, which is life. So,
Right.
Do your research, talk about it. It shouldn't be a taboo topic.
Yeah. Is there a great need for foster care homes?
Always. Yes,
Right.
always.
So, sometimes people will wonder like, I'm not sure what to do. And again, some people might want to consider adoption, and this is maybe a way to kind of get your feet wet, for the lack of a better expression.
Yeah, just kind of tiptoe in. No, you're right.
Right. I mean, it's makes sense that would be a way to do it. Or, there might be families where their kids are grown and moved on, and there may be an opportunity there in their home. They've got all the resources, they've got the space, they've got the rooms, they've got, all the toys or whatever it might be.
They have the experience.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great point. And, I would encourage anybody interested in becoming a foster parent. You can simply Google foster care in your state, in our case, New Jersey, and you will come up with a wealth of resources on finding out how to become a foster parent, what the process looks like, how long it takes. And I really do encourage people to give it a try. There's even something called respite caregivers, which is a temporary, like super temporary foster placement. So that's where you would become a licensed foster home. And if another foster parent needed like a 1 week break because they were having a surgery or they were going out of town and they couldn't, take the child with them, you can take on that and it's a very finite part of time. Because I know a lot of people worry that you'll get attached, and what happens if I get attached and I don't want to say goodbye? And I tell people this isn't really about us as adults and our comfort. We are strong grown-ups. We should be okay with putting ourselves out there and getting a little uncomfortable in order to help somebody who's really in need. And I've done it. I've had to say goodbye to children that I loved deeply and dearly, and it isn't easy, but I wouldn't trade it for the experience I got to have and the love I got to show those children in the time that they were in my care.
Right. Wow, that's beautiful. Now, what would you want people to know? Like, how can they help in these situations? Obviously, like you just said, go and find out information, see, get some understanding and see if this is the right thing for you. What other things can they do to help?
So they can go and grant a wish. That is, like you said before, it's sort of this, getting your feet wet, tiptoe through the window, kind of peek in. You can go to onesimplewish.org. There are wishes that start at $10, go up to $500. It's a great way to read about individual stories as opposed to just absorbing statistics, which can feel really overwhelming and impossible to overcome. When you go to our site, you're reading about one child and one need, and you can choose the one that resonates most with you. You can make it happen. Our team takes care of the rest. And, then you can come back when you're ready. And if you're ever, wanting to move further along that path, then we're here to support you in that as well.
That's great. Now, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way to contact you?
They can email us at info@onesimplewish.org, or they can message us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're pretty active on social media.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, I was impressed also with your bio, and I know you have a program that you help animals too. So
yes,
one busy woman. But again, and maybe we'll have you on to talk about that someday. But this is wonderful. I think it's an important area for folks to get comfortable with and learn more about. And like you said, even to go online and just learn a little bit more about it, and you might find yourself more comfortable and might say, hey, I can do this. And what could be better than helping out a child in need, right? And like you said, it's even great to be that respite care if you can do it for like a week or so and really if this works before anybody gets involved too far to see if, whatever. It's just great. I've learned a lot, and I really appreciate your time. I appreciate that you created this organization, and really all our viewers very much appreciate it as well. So good luck to you in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Danielle, thanks again. And to our viewers, we appreciate your spending time with us here at SCAN's Community Connections, and we wish you well.